Okay, we're going to be doing Waiting in Vain by Bob Marley, the solo. It's going to be over these two chords, A flat major 7, which I refer to as the up and over chord, A flat big boy chord, up and over, and keeping the first finger there. Or you can think of this as A flat and going to the third degree of the scale, 1, 2, 3, and making a C minor, making a minor chord off the third degree, and then just putting the root note on A flat. And then the second chord is going to be D flat major 7, where you have your second finger in the middle of these two guys right here. Sorry. Right? So D flat major 7. So A flat major 7. 1, 2, 3, and just those two chords over and over again. It's going to start out with an A flat major pentatonic, where we slide with our third finger, right? First finger on A flat, Country Roads. Slide. I'm going to creep around here, and then super slide here. I'm not going to use the whole scale. He's going to start with a slide into the 8th fret. So third finger sliding up a whole step. Play the first finger here, and then your third finger on the 4th string, 8th fret, and play the first finger here. And now here it's going to be the second finger into the 10th fret, and use your first finger here for the A flat for the root. So there's no creep around here because I kind of crept around here instead of waiting to the last note here. 1, 2. And then we end on this B flat note, which will be over the D flat chord, which will be a real pretty color over that, a 13 or a 6. We're going to start with an upbeat 1. Oh, let me explain that real quick. So that was the major pentatonic starting on a 5th string slide, ending on your third finger there, and vibrato there, by the way. Now, here's my second finger on A flat, and here's a little bit of a snippet. He's going to start with his pinky on this B flat, although you could use your third finger. You don't have to use your pinky for anything really here if you don't want to, but I'm going to use my pinky on an upbeat 1. Sneaky little move there. So, you play the first, well, starting on the 2nd degree of the scale, and you play 3 notes, a little bit of a pause, play the pinky note on the 5th degree of the scale, and we're going to pull off from the 2nd finger to the 1st finger on this top string. And when after that pull off, I'm going to play my pinky on the 2nd string, come back to the 1st string, and then slide with my 2nd finger up to that B flat note again, the 11, and then end with 1 here. So I started with, in this position, in 8th position, but I've ended in 9th position. 1. And now I'm going to do a bend here, a pre-bend. So pre-bend it, so bend first, pick later. Come down and release to the 1st finger on 9, and then back and forth. There. Now I'm going to go all the way up into 13th position, and realizing that A flat major pentatonic is the same as an F minor pentatonic. Right? Relative major, relative minor. You don't have to use any pinky here if you don't want to. You can if you want to. That's fine. That's just your personal preference. There's in this position of our blues licks, if you're thinking F, there's a 2nd string bend, which is trying to get to this F note, and then there's a 3rd string bend, which could either get to this note or more the blues note, right, to the flat 5 here. So this is on fret 15, and it's going to be a short little choppy bend. Starting here with this 1st finger on 13, and there's a lot of vibrato there. So this is a 3rd finger, but I'm on the 16th fret. And then I'm going to go back to this F note. Now there's other ways you could do this and play that note, or creep that note down, or even. But I think this is just the easiest solution to this. Is more of a blues lick coming out of this position. Now notice I do that bend with my 2nd finger. Sometimes when I'm doing in rock and roll, what I call Jimmy Page position, the 2nd finger gets this whole step, and the 3rd finger gets the minor 3rd, or what I call the biggin. You could bend that both. You could bend that with your third finger if you'd like to do that, but I just use my second finger because I'm just sort of keeps me in that rock and roll position. And now we're gonna bend this note. So there's my A flat. It's sort of like the same lick we did over here. Could also do that lick over here, but I think he's up in this position here. So we bend, hit it when it's down, and then you hit it one more time, back and forth. Cool. And remember this pentatonic here, right? And he's gonna do this little triplet sequence, starting with an upbeat, and then bending the last note. So this is the top string bend here, which you're trying to get up a whole step. Something like that. Now with this sequence, like I said, it starts with an upbeat, wah, and there's gonna be back and forth to the new note, back and forth. And it's just sequential until we get to the top note and we bend that fire out of it. So it's almost like after this pickup note, da boo do 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 da, so forth. So what's nice about the solo, first of all, what's nice about the solo is just the solo. It's super tasty. It's not using anything complicated after, guitar basics, lead guitar 101. Very majorish, major pentatonic, but it's one of the most tastiest major pentatonic licks I've ever heard. A little bit of a major scale. Bend. Up into this position. Little flurry. So it sort of shows you the rise of the solo, starting with, and then we're in this position for a bit. And now we're up into this position. Two, three, four, one. Da 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 da. Something like that.